So what comes to your mind? I'm going to ask you a very pointed question. If this property did not need, let's just take this out, 900,000, look at cash on cash return. This property is like amazing.
15.8.
Yeah, you can never buy a property in California, right, for that amount.
No way. I was underwriting the new listing we're going to launch next week, and the cash on cash return is 1.82.
1.82. Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's a very, very normal. Per unit we sell at $222 per unit. Yeah, so it's just a very normal. The market is like its peak right now. Yeah, so I can understand it. Even though every single listing we are going to sell that we're selling, we're not buying that. Like personally, we know that.
Really? Yeah, look at that.
People still jumping on that. I don't know why, but the market's just still.
Yeah, market is like that,
Yeah.
But look at what will happen. My gosh, 15.8. I mean, this is smelling like a rose,
Yeah.
Debt coverage ratio 2.16. Usually banks want 1.25.
2.5.
Yeah, 1.2, 1.3. And cap rate, never heard of, 8.7. Cap rate, 8.7, And then, of course, we split. That's where the manager's cash flow is 35. First year I take 35. Then I go back to 60-40 most of the time. And then this is then over here to the partners, equity partners, investors. Investors get first year 319,000, which is 10.30. They get paid on every dollar they put in, by the way. So let's just put that 900 back, 900,000 back, This is the original. So actually, investors are making 8% return on every dollar they put in. Even on the $900 and every single cost, even though it's costed money to buy this property, but in my model, we pay 8% on 4,000. Every dollar that the investor invests, we pay returns on that dollar. So that's a good thing. It's not like a brokerage account where, they have to pay fees or they got docked in mutual funds. They want to take, invest into this closed fund and they're going to take 5% away. All those things are there, right?
Yeah.
So in our case, we collect the whole money and we pay every dime, percentage of that one. So let's just go from here. Any other thing you want me to talk about, or you understood okay? Or
a couple quick questions. So so the question is, I know a lot of investors, they do, if they buy a large property like this, they don't really self-manage, right? And why so for you always self-manage your own properties, and why is that? What's your, what is the idea behind that?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked me that. To be very truthful, when I started with my partner, this company, and we got a very big company I don't want to say their name, but they actually managed 33,000 units, I think. One of the biggest, nicest, company. But what I found was they were having challenges keeping the managers at our property. And we were there, my partner was there, so she had to be in the forefront, even though it was a hands-free operation. But then we had to be there along with them to run our property. I mean, it just happened that way. The other part, which was the biggest problem with me, was that this company said we are on actual and accrual basis. Okay, that makes it really, really difficult because actual and accrual means they will never tell me how much is my cash flow per month. They could never tell me. They'll show me the P&Ls at the end of the month, right? And they would show me that they spend this money, and the cash flow is so little. So if you listen to a lot of, podcasts, it's very hard to find a good, solid, trustworthy company in property management. It's
I
very
know
hard.
there's no perfect ones. I know that, same with my client. They always ask me, for recommendation. I never give them one because there's no
Yeah,
perfect ones.
you
I
cannot.
know that. Yeah, yeah.
You cannot, and there's so much money at stake, 1.9, $2 million. I mean, if they can bill you higher in expenses and all the different things, there are different categories, right? I mean, they can, I'm not saying everybody is bad, but there are very, very few that are good. So we decided, we fired them, and this is like 9 years back or something like that. And guess what? We hired a consultant to start our own property management company.
Mm-hmm.
And we paid her, I think, 20,000 or something. She came down. She knew how to start, how to do the hiring, how to put our
Mm-hmm.
manuals together, how to just teach us everything, just like we
Mm-hmm.
learned the art of syndication, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
investing and everything. Same thing what we did with this one, We said, okay, we're going to do the same way. We're going to start from scratch. And that's what we have done. We have been managing all 26 assets ourselves, for the last 8 years, you can say, because ninth or 10th year we were working with them. We fired them, Well, fired them in the sense, I'm sure
Well,
they're doing very well, but
I see. So you were saying that they were trying. Not they were trying, but they will have a lot of ways to make money out of like the management, right? So instead of so for you the cost is not controllable for you, right? It's not predictable. You
not at
always get.
all.
I see.
You cannot. You have to be really on top of them. And a lot of these property management companies, if they're very big, they treat you as just numbers,
I
because they
see.
have so many to take care of, right? And their attention goes to the ones that are in trouble,
I
and
see.
I know it's just different. And then the small mom and pop are the ones who can sometimes take care of your property, sometimes can't, And not
I
that
see.
I won't say, but you can interview them, sit down with them, look at their reports, their honesty, talk to their clients, then you can find a good one, I mean, there is a whole shebang of questions you can ask, Mm-hmm.
I see. But how long did you take to start your own property management company, and how long did you take to kind of stabilize the team? Is it
Uh,
like 1 year, 2 year, or
okay, no. It took us 3 months to start
okay?
the company, 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because we hired the professional to start the company. We didn't know
I
anything.
see.
That's what we
Okay,
did.
got it.
So we thought
Got
we'll
it.
give 25,000. I think she flew down to San Antonio. We were in San Antonio then, and she started it, for us.
I see.
And then she
Mm-hmm.
left. And then she did the
Got it.
payroll and all that, right? But now we are able to start from fresh. In my new company, I started, my new company is only 2.5 years old,
Mm-hmm.
with 12 assets, 12 syndications I've done. And also we have 68 employees now. 68. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's all my questions for the management side. And
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So let's go to, if I may, let's go
Mm-hmm.
back here. And it really makes sense, right, to do this deal for sure. But
Yes.
then I want to take you to one more place, and then we can look at other things too.
Mm-hmm.
Assumptions. Wow. So we can actually put different choices here, and it
Mm-hmm.
changes. All the worksheets change.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say, if the market is going to be at 8% cap or 7% cap or 9% cap,
Mm-hmm.
management fee, I'm going to change it, to some other percentage, all that stuff. So it's
Mm-hmm.
all interconnected, all interconnected. Then the 5-year projection, that's where the
Mm-hmm.
main thing is. Look at that. So what this does, I did too big. Okay, there we go. So for
Mm-hmm.
5 years, it's all interconnected with the underwriting and with the assumptions. So the assumptions are here on the right-hand side,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you could say rent growth, like for example, in first year I put down 0, right? Because we are getting into the property, we are getting to know the resident, the leases are coming due. As soon as they come due, we, do the little upgrade of the apartment and lease it at a higher price. So you cannot really get 10% in 1 year. That's why I gave the 10% increase by second year. You know what I mean? So, other words, and then I reduced it down to 6%, 6%, 6%. So actually, if you think about it, 10% of 650 is how much? It's only $63.
Yeah, it's only 65, yeah.
So if I do 16% of the $650, it's $100, I think, close to it, So I am so conservative in my estimating all these things that, even in 3 years, I'm not increasing the price of the rent, the rents by $100 or $110. You know why? I could say 5 here, I could say 15 here, I could say these numbers change, right? And it's going to blow the numbers over here like crazy.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's interesting because I do this, right? Because I do scenarios. I say, okay, you know what? Let's do very, very conservative. Now, I'm not increasing $100, which I planned it over here. $100, it's going to increase value by $4 million. I could easily go here and say, from the market rent comparison charts that you just saw, that we should be able to increase $100 easily. So I could put this 16%. Why can't I?
Yeah, second year, yeah.
Okay, guess what? Look at that. From 28
to
34 per year. This is per annum. That's what my investors will make per year. Of course, they will make a lot of money at the equity sale, right? See, this is the equity cash flow. So if they spend $100,000 with me, I'll give them back in 5 years, $100,000 back plus $115,000 check on top of it. And they would get this much percentage during the years, like 55%. So in other words, if they put $100,000 in 5 years, they'll get $55,000 cash flows. Plus they will get big check here. Total, I'll give them for $100,000. They'll get their $100,000 back plus $170,000, right? They would have gained. So then I divide that by 5. So you look at that, by 5. That's they are making per year. Right? Did I miss you? No, look at that. And then this comes into this one, right there. Everything is interconnected.
Cash flow, okay.
So this is what I present to the investors, because confused investors don't buy, they don't invest. But if it's a simplified way for them to see, oh, okay, you're raising $4 million. Oh, all right, first year, the members' net cash flow is going to be this much. That's our investors. We're going to give them this much, this much, this much, this much, total of $2 million in 5 years cash flow. And this is the percentage, right? This divided by this divided by this, right? Right there. And then this is the members' equity. $4 million, 629 is their share. I say member, I should say, partner or equity partner or equity investor probably, is a better term. And then this is the same thing. We just came from there. Then I also give them like an example, what will happen if you brought 100,000 into the deal. You'll get this much cash flow first year, second year, third, fourth, fifth, and then you get your 115,000 check on top of it. Total projected return is 270,000, which is they're going to get back their money and everything, right? And then you divide 34.18. Now, can I show you one more? Equity return on sale. So I designed this one, I said, you know what? What happens if we are able to buy and sell quicker? Or we find out the area is grown to be such a good place. Now the cap rate has gone down to 7. Wow, really? All right, let's see. Let's look at our percentage here. What did we do with our cash flow returns? 42%. 42, 46 that people can make per year. And you know what? The best part is I've given it. I've given it to my investors. My very first deal that I talked about with Joe Fearless and Michael Blank and everything, I gave my investors 43.3%, actually 43.3, and I promised them 25.3%.
That's way over deliver.
They just believed me, and they have been putting so much money. I am able to raise $6 million in 8 hours or so, you know, like my last offering. This one right here, Riverside. I just put the package out. Let's just go here too, just for the heck of it. Right there, look at that. Everything changes. So anywhere you change assumptions or equity and resale right there, like I just seen that, right there. Now, I'll just go back to 8, right? Because that's what we were starting with. Sales, commissions, expenses, closing, initial loan, everything, all that is done. Everything is totally squeaky clean, you know? And then we do acquisition expenses. It shows how much we're going to raise to undertake the property, right? How much it's going to take, and then that's the one right there. So this is what worksheet which will take care of everything for you, right from the start to the rents, to increases, to assumptions, to 5-year projections, and changing 5-year projections according to here, vacancies, concessions, loss to lease, non-revenue units, utility reimbursement per door, per month, everything. So you could change.
I see. Are you able to do, you know, I know that you're underwriting, you know, with the interest-only loan. Are you able to underwrite it with
Yes.
like, you know, the conventional loan that you can
Yes,
change back
yes.
to?
Totally, you can. Yep, no problem at all. I'm going to just do it. I don't like that color. Now it looks nice. On the eyes, right? It looks much nicer on the eyes. I like that. That's engineer in me. But you know, let's go over there. What you just said is very, very good. Underwriting. Now, all you have to do is, if